Hey, Bears fans, the countdown to 30,000 subscribers is upon us. We are 730 away. Let's get to 30K before that first preseason game on August 14th. We can get there. We'll continue to have the best training camp coverage on the Bears throughout the next several weeks and on into the regular season. So hit that big red button and subscribe. Share that link below with a friend. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. You're watching Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. You guys can give me a follow on Twitter. It's at HGrahamNFL. More Bears news, rumors, and updates over there. Now, we got to explore an Xavien Howard trade on today's show because last night he dropped the bomb that he wants out of Miami. He has requested a trade, said he's appreciated his time there, but the Dolphins have not met some financial recommendations that him and his agent have made, and so now he wants out. And hey, the Bears did release Kyle Fuller this offseason, and cornerback is a bit of a question mark heading into the season. Now, we should acknowledge, A, Howard's going to cost a lot in a trade, just from a trade package, but also, B, the Bears do have limited cap space at this point in time. All of that being said, Xavien Howard is a total baller. This guy is an absolute beast, one of the premier quarterbacks in the National Football League. He creates turnovers. He's locked down. He is absolutely fantastic. A duo of him and Jalen Johnson would be awesome. I mean, 10 interceptions last year, 10 in 16 games. I mean, come on. That is unheard of. 20 pass breakups. He is just exactly what you're looking for in today's NFL. And sure, if you trade for him, you're going to have to, raise his current contract a little bit, but he might just be worth it because he is that good of a player at the cornerback position. And without Kyle Fuller, there's question marks after Jalen Johnson. What do you think? Should the Bears trade for Xavien Howard, or at least try to? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Get your votes in down in the comment section. We'll actually make this the pinned comment on today's video. So type T for trade, or you can type P for pass. Now, if you're going to trade for Xavien Howard, I said accept Howard. Obviously, you would accept him if you trade for him. You're going to have to cut Jimmy Graham and save that $7 million because the Bears have limited cap space. They're at like $5-6 million right now. Cutting Graham saves $7 million. I think the trade for Howard right now, it would be about $12 million against the cap. So you got to cut him. That's what you would have to do. But obviously, I think we would all agree that would be worth it if you got Xavien Howard. Now, the highest paid CBs in the year, Xavien Howard is only number 6. This is 6 through 10 right here, where Howard's at $15 million per year. He wants to be where these guys are, the top 5, the Jalen Ramseys, the Marlon Ramseys, at least the Tre'Davious White and Darius Slay range. He's certainly better than Darius Slay at this point. He's not even the highest paid corner on his team. I love Byron Jones, but he is not as good as Xavien Howard. I certainly think Howard is worthy of being $16-17 million per year. And if you got him, just imagine putting Jalen Johnson at CB2, Howard at CB1, and then let the guys compete for the nickel spot. Shelley, Vildor, Trufant, whoever it is, Thomas Graham. These guys can compete. You've got a lot of depth at that point. And that 1-2 punch of Howard and Johnson, I think, would rival a lot of cornerback units in the NFL. I think it would be one of the best duos in the National Football League. You would go from a question mark at corner to no questions whatsoever if you got Xavien Howard, who is still only 27 years old. He's long at 6'1". He can cover. He can tackle. He does it all. I'm intrigued by this. Not having a first-round pick next year certainly hurts your chances of getting him. But what if you traded Allen Robinson to try and get Xavien Howard? Now, that would be interesting. I want to ask you guys, would you trade A-Rob for Howard? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You'd probably have to trade a little bit more, but what if it's A-Rob in a second for Howard and Devontae Parker? I don't know. It's interesting. Get your votes in. Would you be willing to part ways with Allen Robinson to get Xavien Howard to Chicago? Type Y for yes, or type N for no. Now, today's show is sponsored by our sports betting partner, BetUS. Want to introduce you guys to our new sports betting partner. Guys, these folks approached me and were like, hey, we're going to offer you a 125% deposit bonus. It's like, okay, that's pretty good. So here's what you do. If you love betting on football, the Bears are coming up. You can bet on Major League Baseball, which is going on right now. Get going with our link below. You must use our URL. It's chatsports.com/Bears. Use our promo code BEARDOWN, all one word, by the way, bear down. After you go to chatsports.com/Bears, you get a 125% deposit bonus. What does that mean? You put down $100, BetUS is going to give you an extra $125 in free free cash to bet on whatever games or props you want to bet. NBA draft tomorrow night. You can do some NBA draft props, the Bulls, whatever it is. Chatsports.com/Bears. Use the promo code BEARDOWN to make some money throughout football season with BetUS. If you have any questions, you can tweet at me at HGrahamNFL. Go make some money with BetUS today. Now, Justin Fields, should he start week 1? We continue to explore this because Ryan Clark of ESPN, former NFL star, says that he should. He believes he should start over Andy Dalton in week 1. Now, Dalton is slated to be the Chicago Bears starting quarterback this year, but Matt Nagy didn't completely rule out the possibility of Fields winning the job during his press conference on Tuesday. It's going to take a lot for him to unseat Dalton, but didn't completely rule it out. Here's what Ryan Clark had to say on ESPN on Tuesday. You know who's not exciting? Andy Dalton. You know who's not fun? Nick Foles. Right now, it should be Coach Dalton and Coach Foles that coach along with Coach Nagy, getting Justin Fields as prepared as he possibly can be to play. Justin Fields is a bigger, stronger Dak Prescott. I think he said he's a better Dak as well, and if you believe that, if he's a better Dak, that's a top 10 NFL quarterback in the league right now. Dak Prescott's a really, really good NFL quarterback, and I like the comp of Fields to Dak. They have similar attributes. They're both mobile. I think Fields has a stronger arm, actually. So from a physicality standpoint, I get where Clark is coming from, but that's pretty high praise for a guy who has not taken an NFL snap yet in Justin Fields. More on this in a second, but first, you know what we're going to ask. Who starts week 1? Type AD for Andy Dalton. Type JF for Justin Fields. We'll continue to ask this question until that Rams game comes. Get your votes in, AD for Dalton or JF for Fields. Now, the NBA draft is tomorrow night. I've got my prep work done. Chase Sr.'s ready to rock. The entire Chat Sports team is ready for the NBA draft, and we're going to break it down live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We will be live 7 o'clock Eastern and maybe even 6:30 Eastern. Stay tuned, and then the draft will start at 8 Eastern, and we will break down all 60 picks, including the Bulls pick. So subscribe, mark your calendars, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We will have full 2021 NBA draft coverage. So you compare Justin Fields to Dak Prescott if you're Ryan Clark. Okay, well, Dak's last full season in 2019, all he did was throw for 4,900 yards, 30 touchdowns against 11 picks, had a QB rating of almost 100. That's pretty good. He's also mobile, ran for 3 touchdowns. The rushing yards have gone down as his career has gone on because he's become more of a passer, but we know that Dak is certainly a mobile quarterback, as is Justin Fields. I mean, I don't mind the comp here by Ryan Clark that Fields is a big dude. He's got a strong arm. He's mobile. He's accurate. We saw that his last 2 seasons at Ohio State, making those 22 starts, and the mobility is off the chain. I mean, the guy ran a 4.46 at the NFL or at his pro day. So we know how dynamic of a player he can be, both throwing the football and running it. Now it comes down to doing it on Sundays. When will he start? We'll see. Clark certainly thinks it should be week 1. I'm not opposed if he goes out there and wins the job. I think he should earn the job. No one should be given a job in the National Football League, but this will be very, very interesting to see how this ends up playing out with Justin Fields. Got a couple of news items to get to in just a second, but want to remind you quickly, subscribe to us here at Bears Now. We're closing in on 30,000 subscribers. The link is right there, youtube.com/BearsNow. Daily videos, the latest news, rumors, training camp coverage, and a whole lot more. Real quick, Bears have signed 2 wide receivers, Justin Hardy, who has spent some time with the Atlanta Falcons, the 29-year-old, and John Vay Johnson, who spent I think a season or 2 with the Dallas Cowboys in the practice squad. He's bounced around quite a bit, has some speed. The Bears cut Khalil McLean and one of their back into the roster defensive backs to clear those roster spots for these 2 guys. They're mostly camp bodies. Maybe they compete for a practice squad spot, so keep that in mind. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, get going with BetUS. Chatsports.com/Bears, promo code BEARDOWN.